Kagurabachi the last few chapters has been chaotic to say the least. The Sword Bearer assassination arc has been a great read. Last time I talked about Kagurabachi, Chihiro just cut off Hirohiko's arms in the most raw and cold way he could have, which is just the norm for him at this point. After Hirohiko filled the space with paper, the paper is a way to locate and detect the target. Chihiro simply does the same thing. I like the idea of Chihiro being a mid-battle adapter and assessing rather than just using brute force against his opponents, who he's not sure of on how strong they are. While this battle is going on, the sole character that made me want to do this video is Samura. He is approached by the supposed trump card of Hishaku, the sorcerer that was there when Chihiro's dad was killed. I find it very odd that he isn't named yet, even now when he's reappeared in a more serious arc. Maybe it'll be revealed later when he's more of a focus, or it could be that he's related to a character we know. No clue, but I'm hooked. This sorcerer uses wood/earth sorcery, and Samura with his personal stealth ninja team, the Kamanabi Ninja Force, take care of the branches and the rest of the fodder. He and Uraha have a really cool team up with the double EA style slash. At some point, Samura gets overwhelmed with his senses and is basically blinded. Only one emotion stood out, and it was bloodlust. That bloodlust came from Uraha, who knew it was a way to guide Samura. Something I found interesting is that Uraha starts to argue with Samura and tells him that these people are dying for you and are trying to help you. Samura's ideology of being a leader/adult is very much of a putting the burden on himself. He doesn't want any deaths or casualties, especially if he's fighting with the group. At the end of the day, Samura is viewing this like a veteran in war. He knows the mental and emotional toll death can be on someone and other people, and he doesn't want that stress on everyone. He'd rather funnel everything to himself, even to death, which in theory is noble, but it's not healthy, and normally doesn't end. Aguri then storehouses the blade in, and Samura does the Tobune, which translates to fly. A bunch of crow wings fly out after a EA slash through all the other enemies that were taking control of. This panel is just cool as hell. Dark and beautiful to a T. Kinda really symbolizes Kagurabachi. Now there was a moment that wasn't really a moment, but it kinda was. Is the reason I say Kagurabachi pulled Attack on Titan. It's because back to the Chihiro versus Hirohiko fight, as Hirohiko is rambling on about what Hishaku's plans are and that the Tobune was taken, he talks about school and how they're taught, the sword masters and bearers are taught to be heroes like Konoshige, about how powerful the swords are when awakened and brought to their full potential, to say the least. They are taught to protect those heroes. At least that's what Samura says. And Hokuzono, in the middle of Hirohiko talking and revealing Samura has been talking with the Hishaku, Chihiro is having this inner conflict with himself and the past events that have happened and questioning everything. He doesn't hear what Hirohiko just told him. I like how the text placement kind of overlaps and takes the attention away from the speech bubble with bold and large text. It's not until a second time Hirohiko says it that's when Chihiro starts to take in what is being told to him, and not wanting to believe what's happening while also remembering the things Samura has said to him. A blinded man flailing through darkness to save society. It's starting to really click. Cutting back to Samura, he's knocked out everyone except Uraha, and Hakuri is strong enough to wake up just to at least listen in. Samura is explaining to Uraha that the reason he's doing this is because with the Tobune, he now has to root out the evil and protect the weak. That there is a greater evil other than the Hishaku. The sword bearers themselves, they fought in wars, committed crime, caused a chain of deaths from people dying for them. He wanted to erase all that, eliminating the sword bearers, and even if the Hishaku try to take advantage of this and get the other blades, he'll just kill the other sword masters, rounding up all the blades himself and locking them up. Uraha is clashing with him and proclaiming that people died for him, so him dying and throwing his life away now would make their deaths meaningless. Poor Akari, man, my boy was just trying to be clutch again and ended up creating a whole clusterfuck of carnage. Uraha and Samura go along the balcony and will battle. This is a classic samurai duel. I like how they're locking eyes, and if you play Ghost of Tsushima, this is damn near 1-for-1 of that. And to no one's surprise, Samura absolutely violates Uraha. But Hakuri still has one more in him. He sees a sword and swaps Chihiro into the battle right after Chihiro just got blindsided by the Samura communicating with Hishaku news. Fortunately, Hakuri brought Chihiro at the wrong time because Chihiro is mentally and emotionally unstable right now. A mentor of him betraying him and supporting the group that killed his father, even if it's in good nature, yeah, this ain't gonna look too good. It's the fact that Samura did this and is hurting other people that broke Chihiro. At the end of the day, Chihiro is doing this for revenge. Yes, he is saving people, but avenging his father will always be the core motive. He tried charging at Samura, but similar to Uraha, he didn't stand a chance. Granted, Chihiro is damaged, so he wasn't 100%. Shiba saves Chihiro, and he's confused too. Whatever they did in the past that Samura calls their sins is really what's driving home this reason for what he's doing. He seems to want to break the cycle of the hero quota that has been set. I also find it very odd that he didn't do anything to Shiba. Maybe I'm digging too deep, but something to keep my eye on. The Hishaku are at their base and Hishaku is getting patched up. I really can't wait to learn more about these other Hishaku members because this ability looks like it could be puppet stitching or something similar. This really dope owl panel, which I'm assuming is a way of finding someone in mobility, but this panel is just amazing. It's one of the best, I say top 5 panels in Kagurabachi. The idea of Hokuzono possibly getting better with his artwork is going to be something. The guy who stitched up Hishaku has an inner monologue and knows passing his information between one another makes Samura a threat. And then he will try to kill them at some point. And I'm 100% sure Yuri knows this as well. It's really interesting that when Yuri was talking about a trump card, he actually wasn't talking about the sorcerer that killed Chihiro's dad. He's talking about Samura, which reading that back really does hit a little different. It makes me wonder about what the position of the other guy is because he seems like a boss type character, but doesn't seem to be. Maybe there's branches of the Hishaku. I do feel like this is one big setup though from Yuri. Yuri seems like a character that's smarter than Samura, and I'm sure he knows what Samura's trying to get at and what he's doing, so I just highly doubt that he's just gonna let them do this. I think it's gonna come to a point where Samura has gotten too close to what he's trying to do, and then Yuri executes the plan and try to take him out. I do think Samura's gonna either fight the sorcerer dude again, one-on-one this time, or he's gonna fight Yuri, and that's gonna be Yuri's first big fight. And Samura as a character right now just feels like a wild card because he's someone that's trying to be like this necessary evil that doesn't really feel necessary. I think he's just taking his past experiences and kind of just forcing it on himself, thinking he has to do something that he probably doesn't have to fully do if he just kind of stuck with the plan of what Chihiro's doing, because they both want the same thing. They both want the blades. Maybe he just doesn't want Chihiro involved because Chihiro is young and he was kind of born and bred into what everything has become and what he's become right now. And I do think this is gonna lead to a tragic death, probably the real first tragic death other than Kunishige for the hero side, because a character like this, he just feels like it's gonna happen at some point. And I think he's gonna die directly in front of Chihiro, which is gonna set off probably like another crazy reaction and emotion from Chihiro, because this time he'll be actually able to do something. Chihiro's going to wake up and get treated, and everybody will come back more than likely stronger than they were. The Hishaku will need a week to gather information about the defense and fortresses of the Kamanabi. Best guess is that their next location is the shrine or either the sushi super room, probably the sushi one if I had to take a good guess. Or more than likely the girl sword bearer will be there, or maybe the second dude too, but I think it's only going to be one. The hot springs were already taken down in chapter 46, and of course we already had the battle at the temple, so those two spots are more than likely next. And I'm looking forward to seeing what type of enchanted blade will be there. Also have a strange feeling I think some type of healing technique will be brought into the series. I don't know if it'll just be one person or something that the general sorcerer or swordsman can do. Also, if Chihiro is able to fight some more, this will be his hardest fight due to the fact Chihiro has had a clear bad guy villain he's been fighting in all his big battles. After this talk with Hirohiko, Chihiro's outlook on killing heroes and villains could be shifting, because now he has to possibly kill someone who's still a good person but has a motive that will be an obstacle for Chihiro, because he's not going to let Samura do this by himself and kill the other sword bearers. We could see some hesitancy in his movements, at least when it comes to the lethal attacks, something I'm sure Samura will play on, as he knows Chihiro at his core is a young man with a kind heart who just got lost in all this violence. It will also be interesting to see if Chihiro doesn't want to kill Samura, but the Kamanabi would want to, and they enlist someone like, we'll just say Uraha for example, to execute him on sight. Or worse, they just send a group to eliminate Samura, creating a mini war leading to even more chaos, making Samura think if what he's doing is actually leading to more hardship than less stress and despair as he thinks he is. Also, from the one-sided argument that Samura had with Hirohiko, I wouldn't be shocked if he got in the middle of this, because I know he views Chihiro as a friend in his own little weird way, so I could see him kind of poking his nose into Samura's business and he tries to take over his spot. Because after all, he did get an enchanted blade too, so he just feels like kind of the really wild card kind of just Joker person of the Hishaku. So I'm really intrigued to see where this Kagurabachi arc goes and how fitting. They got a freaking anime production news thing that they could be getting an anime soon, or at least in production soon for the studio, which is crazy for something that's only like 60 chapters in. Like, that's very rare. With that, I'll holler at y'all in the next one. Feel free to like and subscribe. There will be more Kagurabachi stuff coming. Peace.
Yeah, Kim Jong, yeah, big